Change starts with us. A presentation by Anahí student chapter from USFQ for this International Energy Youth Conference. Every kilowatt hour consumed in Ecuador means an indirect emission of 342.6 grams of CO2 per kilowatt hour at the atmosphere. The Anahí student chapter at the Universidad San Francisco de Quito has a long-term plan to reduce electricity consumption. The actions against the climate change includes the analysis of energy efficiency and significant energy users in each building. This works from the collection of data from electric invoice and inventory equipment. The second scope remains in the renewable energy generation from solar panels. The objectives of the current projects for USFQ are to identify the equipment or processes that have higher rates of energy consumption in campus, collect data, make a list with the inventory, estimate the daily or annual consumption per building, and finally determine opportunities to reduce energy consumption.
The data is collected by the following process. First, measure the luminance of classes, hallways, common areas, etc. Second, annotate the type of light bulbs and their distributions in the buildings. Third, analyze statistics and make suggestions. We found that one of the most intensive energy consumers of the campus are the luminaries. To study the impact of the usage of better technology, we use the Da Vinci building, characterized for being the only building to have a vast majority of LED bulbs, where 94% of the building is using LEDs and the rest is a variety of all their light bulb types. We found after measuring every classroom and hallway, almost every area had adequate light to perform the activities meant to be done, with some few exceptions. We also found the actual power needed to illuminate, which for LED is 8.5 kilowatts, while using fluorescent tubes will be 12.4 kilowatts, and 45% increase.
By changing the equipment used and moving on to newer technology, as for example the usage of LED, is key to reduce the CO2 emissions. In this case, the university has compromised itself to reduce the energy consumption, better efficiency by replacing all the power consumers. This has the impact to the electrical power factor, which measures how well an electrical circuit is performing. The higher, the better. As we can see through the years, the power factor has been increasing right before the 2020 pandemic. On a regular basis, this meant that for 2021 and 2022, the average energy consumption would have been the lowest of the years studied. Energy consumption can also be seen as the average consumption per day, meaning that less energy was needed to perform the same activities inside the campus. Having in mind that the students admitted to the university is increasing year by year, one of the 5 years studies, we can see a decrease of 3% of energy consumption, which is a bigger step towards reducing emissions. To combat climate change, we can follow what we have seen in our project. First, saving energy starts by reducing the energy used on our daily basis, like turning off bulbs and devices that are not on current usage. Second, by using other kinds of energy sources like solar panels, which for our case is a tempting idea, since the energy demand line follows the solar power throughout the day. Third, we can replace older devices with newer and more efficient ones. In our case, changing the light bulb was a key idea. Fourth, look up to the most intensive energy consumer and reduce its consumption. For the university, the most energy consumers are HVACs, laboratories, and illumination systems, for which the HVACs are the main problem. By painting the rooftops of each building white, would improve the temperatures inside the building and therefore lower the usage of HVACs.
And remember that change starts with us. Little actions have great impacts on the long run.